Sport Relief is at $250,000 at the moment, which, and then they're going to show the documentary later in March, and then that will hopefully raise more there.
Fibers at this moment.
I know it's a bit weird what I did, but I just thought sometimes it's just going to run around the country.
Any more films in the pipeline?
Any other films? There is Day of the Triffids. Day of the Triffids is, you know, like it's filmed for television, but it's Dougray Scott and Jodie Richardson, Vanessa Redgrave, Brian Cox, a really good cast. And if you've seen Day of the Triffids.
Day of the Triffids?
Yeah, Day of the Triffids?
You're playing Triffids?
No. No, I'm not playing. I'm playing Torrance, actually, who I believe is in the original book. I should read the original book, actually. But he's sort of charismatic and a sociopath as well, which I believe should be an unsociopath, which is slightly psychotic. But I essentially go around with a lot of guns, shooting people, and Triffids. But it's a great story if you've seen Day of the Triffids, and I'm still waiting to see the final thing, but I think it should be a good review. So that's out at Christmas, and then there will be more in the future. Yes. Oh, hello. Just wandering around casually. What? Oh yes, Alfie is also in it. Alfie, who's doing all my photographs, all the still photographs, and he was on the last day of shooting of Day of the Triffids. I met up with him sometime. I said, come along, we're going to Sheffield Studios. I'm going to do the last scene, which was where I was. It's right at the beginning of the film. If you watch the beginning of the film, you'll see me. There's this, if it's still in, you know, because sometimes in the editing it disappears. But I'm sort of walking through loads of burnt-out cars with people who are blind walking around, and they said, you know, cause I'm picking up stuff, and I get a gun off a policeman, and this is the scene they need to film. And I introduced Alfie and some other friends of mine to the director, because they just turned up. They said, you can be blind people in Day of the Triffids. Alfie was in Day of the Triffids, wandering around. And the thing was, because they're blind, and I was walking up towards the camera, they're not supposed to know where I was going. But in fact, they all started wandering towards the camera. So I don't think that scene is going to be...
We were all having better to get closer to it. Yeah. I nearly fell over.
So that's it.
Do you have any pre- or post-gig rituals that you do before every?
No, I try not to have rituals, because some people do, and I worked with Lindsay Duncan on the cryptograph, David Mamet's cryptograph in London, one of the first plays they did. And she was, you know, she's very good theatre, she's a great theatrical, a great actor, and but she had a you know, system of she would get about an hour and a half before the show, do a whole bundle of things that she would do to get in that space, and I would just sort of roll up, and you know, because I like the idea of just rolling up. Street performing was all about you sort of get there and do it, very instant and stand up. So I try to remove all the any rituals, because I was worried about getting superstitious. People would have lucky coats, lucky things, lucky this they had to wear that shirt, and I thought that sounds really bad. So I just thought I'd like to get there, and no matter what's happening, whatever you're wearing, you can do a show. So that's what I try and do. And it's interesting with the arenas that it's obviously it's a bigger gig, so there's slightly more of a thing going on. But I still like to do enough of these so that I'm going, oh yeah, should we start now? You know, because it's all kind of regimented, people talking on radio phones, and I'd like to get it really relaxed. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that, but it'd be nice. Yeah.
What made you visit Bolsover Castle?
What made me visit Bolsover Castle? Well, I was running past Bolsover Castle. It's near here. It was past
Chesterfield, just on the side of Chesterfield.
Yeah, I was, is it north of Sheffield or south? South. Yeah, so having gone through Sheffield, yeah, that's right, I've gone through Sheffield and I went on, and then it was there. You know, it's like, if you do the Google Maps thing, that's the route I was taking. And I tried to get, actually we couldn't film in Bolsover Castle, they got schools and stuff. So we got there, and we sort of went up to the edge of it, and they said, well, you can't come in, so...
No way out paying.
Sorry?
No way out paying.
No, no, well, they didn't pay a huge amount to film in it. I'm saying it was a charity. They didn't, it wasn't, there was rules. So I went to the school.
So did my husband.
Sorry?
So did my husband. I told him you went up. I was working in the school nearby.
Yeah, no,
who told me that you didn't. Said, I'm afraid I was not.
And I went to school, and none of the kids knew who the hell I was. One girl knew who I was. So, yeah.
What hair gel do you use?
What's right?
What hair gel do you use?
It's bumbled and bumbled sumo. This red pot of stuff, and it's really good. But those flies, they just were totally into it. And I don't quite, I've had occasionally, I do remember another show where flies were really interested me, but it's weird that they're just occasional shows. Like why, you know, 2 nights in Nottingham, no flies. Was it warm in there? Because it's normally freezing, it's normally in an ice cream. Yeah, any other? Yes.
Are you really serious in your ambition to become an MP?
Yes, I did MP or MEP or maybe Mayor of London. I keep saying Bishop of London. So yeah, that was that is something that I've thought about for years, even before I said that I was going to do it last year, and. So it is a bit weird because I'll have to stop this career thing that I've sort of built up. So that's a little.
You wouldn't run them in tandem.
Well, no, I might because you know Bono goes around and he's an activist and he has his career and he can keep his career and he can keep being active. And I think, and maybe that's what I'll end up doing. But I think I need to run and stand for something. I think I just need to do that. I just think I have to, because you know, and everything would change. If I do that, then everything, I do realize everything will change. People will start hating me in a big way. Because at the moment, you know, people might like you for the comedy you do, and then the rest of the country just doesn't give a monkey. But then you become a politician, then it becomes a sort of, well, I like what you're doing, or I hate what you're doing, and that will, I do realize that thing will happen. So it's in 10 to 15 years. So we'll all be a lot older. Yeah.
Are you doing more running?
Yes, I'm going to keep doing this barefoot running thing that I was talking about. I've been twittering about. Sorry?
You did it in America?
Yes, I did it in New York. I did 11.5 miles barefoot, and I got 1 blister, but I think it's, they think it could be the best way to run, because that's what we used to do, the hunter-gatherer thing. So I'm quite fascinated by this now.
Are you doing London Marathon?
No, I'm trying to avoid marathons, organised marathons, because I think I'll come, you know, 9 millionth and 5th, you know. And then well, no, in my head I kept coming first in my own marathon. So I kind of like that. I should do an organised marathon. I will do an organised marathon at some point, but I'm just trying to get rid of this cold so I can get back to running, because
I did a 10K this morning.
Oh yeah? How was it?
Fine.
There was a 10K, I think, in Sheffield as I was coming down. I missed it by a day. Because I was trying to get so that I could run down, and was it? Were you doing it? Sorry? Oh, was it a different one? Because when I was... No, it wasn't the Great North Run. Sorry? Oh, right. And that was about the time when I was coming down. And it was like I was wrong side by a day. Because I thought it'd be really fun to in the middle of the run, to run for a run. That was what I was going to plan. Well, you know, it was just because I finished the finish line and then keep going. That would be nice, but there's, yeah, I have to do an organised marathon at some point.
I was at Hull this morning, in Hull.
All right.
Yeah.
Are
your feet okay now?
Yeah, the feet were okay, because I mean, I finished this one, I had a blister, and it didn't hurt. That was it. It was under the big, I can't quite work out why it was there, because they say that it's, you know, like if you run, you should wear 2 socks, double-layered socks, so that the rubbing against the shoe isn't so much. And I'm thinking, what am I rubbing against? Because I've got socks or shoes. Someone's rubbing against the road. But why the toe? I couldn't work it out. It's a whole new area. So I'm fascinated to see where that goes. But this book, Born to Run, when I finished the run, someone gave me this book, Born to Run, and in it said, running and barefoot could be the way forward, and this guy does it. And then I heard him on the radio in LA, and then I thought I'll try it in New York, and soon, if the cold goes in 2 or 3 days, I'll be trying it in Aberdeen, where the hell goes? Newcastle, Aberdeen, Liverpool. Yeah, so I'll try it. Yeah.
When you finish with your tour, what will you be doing with the skirt?
With the coat?
Yeah.
I will be keeping the coat because the tour could go on, should go on in, you know, I've got New Zealand, Australia, I've got South Africa I have to do, I've got other European cities. Yesterday there were some women from Greece who were saying, come and play Greece because you can do it in English. So I've got more gigs to do during this show. So.
Would you like my address for future reference?
Well, even when I finish, I still don't want to necessarily give it away. Because I've sort of saved them up. I'm not sure quite what I'm doing with them, but I haven't got them written. Yes, I suppose I have to auction like Princess Di and get sixpence from them.
Will you be doing it in any other languages?
Yeah, I got the French. This show I'd like to do in at least French and German. And you know, they're sitting there waiting. It's like, as you know, I've been talking about doing these gigs, and I haven't really done much about them for some while. But it's like the run. I planned something like this run for some time, and I hadn't done it. And so finally I did it. So I do things, but sometimes I just take a bit of time to do them. So yeah. So I will. And Russian is also I'd like to do it, but I can't quite work out where to get the time. I just need 2 or 3 months in each city. So, yeah.
Can I ask if there was any particular catalyst for the script tour, for the whole concept of it, or if you just wake up one day and say, do more high heels?
No, well, you know, 'cause I haven't stopped the high heels. I just stopped for this tour. Yeah. Like on Glorious, I was high heels, but no, it wasn't really girly mode. It was sort of boy mode. It's just to keep moving it around so that no one can, you know, put you in a box and say one thing or the other. I just thought I'd strip back. I do find that the shoes, the heels I had in Dress to Kill, and that I had before in Glorious, I could move around in those, and then I went a bit too spiky heels in Circle and Factory, and I couldn't. You can't own the land so much. I just need to have that stage to be able to grab it. So I find it more difficult.
Do you have any bad advice for walking in high heels? I'm going out for Halloween. I'm going out Christmas brunch for Halloween.
Right.
Some quite high heels.
Well, you have to push your hips forward and walk from the hips. That is the thing. But I think you could ask high heels? Yeah. It's a hip thing, isn't it? Or have you never analysed it? Because women are not born to walk in heels, and men are not born to it. That's the interesting thing. And that's why one of the main, if you watch America's Next Top Model, whatever, there's a black man who's a gay man who's a judge on that, and he teaches women to walk in high heels on the catwalk. And it's something that the hips have got to be forwards, and you lead from your hip. It's quite weird. I don't know if it's quite effective. I know that when I was doing stand-up, I found it much more difficult to do. Stand-up was much more of a thing of grabbing the space, and it didn't quite lend itself to it in the way I was doing.
Is that why you're doing barefoot?
No, the barefoot, no, that's about owning the space.
Do barefoot on stage.
Could do barefoot on stage. Yeah? Yeah, good. Yeah, I'll think about that.
And then you could walk on tiptoes.
No, walking tiptoes, no, I never, no, that's not really. No, that would seem to be arduous. Is that cool? Oh, one more. Yes, I could well be doing something on the stage early next year. I haven't quite nailed it. I haven't quite agreed the whole thing, so I'll wait until that happens before announcing it. But yeah, there is something in the pipeline. Okay? Yeah, well, it's a social progressive audience. It's thing I'm talking about out-of-the-box thinkers and lit thinkers and stuff. If you play to that audience, And if you think about it, they must exist in every country, even in countries that are developing, even in countries that are